Welcome back to Morning Joe. A military veteran from Kansas City was sentenced to 30 days home detention and probation on Wednesday for his role in the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. Kerry John Walden went to the Capitol that day prepared for violence, the government stated in court documents. He brought a gas mask with him from home and wore it inside the Capitol building, entering through a window that had been smashed. The former Marine told a federal judge he was ashamed he was part of the events that day and would take it all back if he could. Joining us now, senior reporter at NBC News, Brandy Zadrozny, who spoke extensively with another person who was part of the events on January 6th, stopped short of entering the Capitol. Brandy writes about it in her latest piece titled Escape from QAnon, How January 6th Changed One Person's Path. First of all, Brandy, it's great to see you in person. We've gotten used to you in your apartment. I know all your backdrops. I hear your kids. It's just,
they won't be waddling in today, so I'm sorry, or you're welcome.
Can I say I kind of miss them?
I know, me too, actually.
So tell us about this guy, a 30-year-old from Brooklyn, because it is so representative of, it is your neighbor. It could have been anyone. How did he get radicalized?
So this person, Justin, we're saving his last name so future employers can't look him up and discover this about him right away. But he was a professional, educated, 30 years old, lived a couple blocks away from me in Brooklyn. And he reached out to me after I tweeted something about, I think that QAnon people are going to have a come to Jesus moment, right? And he reached out to me and said, I think maybe that was me. So 3 years of increasingly problematic internet history, getting into Pizzagate, which we've talked about on the show quite a bit, and then QAnon, just sort of spiraling. He lost family relationships, he lost his job, he lost girlfriends, he lost everyone he knew until that day that he came to the Capitol. He stood on the steps of the Capitol waiting for the storm, this like prophesized day where, you know, all the evildoers would be rounded up, and he had a come to Jesus moment where he was like, I'm seeing people in MAGA hats beat police officers. I'm seeing radicalized people that were just, you know, at the park with me watching Trump speak that seemed like normal, my folks. And this is what they're doing now. And he didn't want to be associated with that. And he went home. He had a loving family, which you guys just talked about. How do we talk to our family members who are into this stuff? He had a loving family there waiting to do an intervention. And then for a year, he sort of went to therapy and started de-radicalizing himself, but it took a really long time. And so just to think like that's the process we're going to have. You need to have a come to Jesus moment where you realize what these movements are. You need to have a loving support system to come back to, and then you need to do the work.
Yeah. Well, it got real for him that day. It wasn't an online fantasy like he'd been reading about for 3 years. So what is it about him and others who, as you say, had a relatively normal life, a successful career, all those things? Why was he so susceptible to this? Why did he lose a girlfriend and say, I'm gonna choose this over my girlfriend? What was it about him and others that opens them up to this kind of manipulation?
So it's different for every person, right? I know a little old lady who owns a mitten store in Michigan. For her, this is a religion, right? This is all about Jesus and good versus evil. For Justin, this was about an online game almost. He did the puzzles. There's a very gamey aspect to this where this purported Q person behind QAnon released these sort of puzzles. You guessed the clues and you could see how the conspiracy theory was going to play out in real life. So this is what drew him to it. It really does change for each person. Yoga moms in New Mexico are latching onto QAnon because they think they're saving the children, something we talked about. So it really has something for everyone. It's an umbrella conspiracy theory movement. And even though Q hasn't posted in a year, even though Trump is no longer president, the conspiracy theory is very much alive.
So how does he grapple with the consequences of this journey? So it's a moment to have a moment of revelation. You have the psychology of the mob. You can get caught up in it and the like. And you can go home and you can have your revelatory moment and people love you. But there are consequences that follow from all of the things you've been doing over the course of that journey. How is he grappling with the consequences of what he's doing?
Well, he's in therapy. I can say that. And I think that he's sort of doing the work in that way. But, you know, I was supposed to report this story months and months ago. And I don't think he was ready to sort of come out as he has with it, because he knew that he had contributed to a thing that was negative, that was not a positive thing in this world. And he feels truly, truly bad about that. And you can see someone who feels bad about what they've contributed to. And so 6 months later, after he, we had written the article, and he's like, oh, I'm not ready to really, really see what in the public what I've done. And then 6 months later, still doing the work, still talking to him briefly because he's my neighbor and we keep in touch, and I am an invested reporter. So 6 months later, he's sort of ready. And I think that that is instructive. When you're willing to say, not only I've made a mistake, but I've made a mistake, and how can I rectify it? And I think I've been getting hundreds of emails from people saying, my sister, this reminds me of my sister, this reminds me of my son. And I think that is how you grapple with the mistakes that you've made.
And you say you can see it in the video where he at Capitol steps, it hits him.
Yeah, he videoed the whole thing, and he was very open with me. He shared all of his videos, all of his texts with family and friends as he, devolved the last year. We see that, and as I was watching his video footage of the Capitol, he did go over the first barricade. He was at the steps of the Capitol. But as the violence started, and as, violent mobsters sort of started attacking the police line, you can literally see in his footage him sort of inch away. And so that, for me, was another symbol of you could see it happen in real time.
Justin said to Brandy, I felt like I'd been kidnapped, taken for a wild ride that was a lot of fun, and then dumped back on the street trying to figure out where did I go, what just happened. Such a fascinating story. Senior reporter at NBC News, Brandy Zadrozny. Great to see you, Brandy.
You too.